From introducing the first megapixel camera on a smartphone, to Zeiss optics, to astonishing devices like the Nokia 808 PureView, Nokia phones have also always been at the forefront of imaging. We want to uphold this tradition. We have taken a very bold step to pioneer something truly unique and daring. Ladies and gentlemen, for all of the photography enthusiasts out there who are as passionate about capturing stunning images as they are about post-production, I am excited to announce a smartphone with not one, not two, but 5 Zeiss lenses. It is an absolute pleasure to introduce to you the all-new, highly anticipated Nokia 9 PureView. Thank you. The Nokia 9 PureView features world's first 5-camera array. 2 out of these 5 cameras are color or RGB, delivering excellent vibrant color information, while the other 3 are monochrome. Monochrome cameras have a distinct advantage to them. They do not filter for that red, green, and blue, but they capture the entire spectrum of light. This allows us to capture 2.9 times light for each sensor. This 5-camera array is controlled by a custom ASIC that we've developed together with a company called Light. The imaging coprocessor can instruct all of the 5 cameras independently, adjusting the white balance and exposure across the scene. Every capture with Nokia 9 PureView takes at least one simultaneous picture with all of the 5 cameras, delivering you imaging information worth of 60 megapixels. But depending on the scene, we can go all the way up to 240 megapixels. In addition to the unique camera array and the imaging coprocessor, the Nokia 9 PureView is also the first time that a smartphone fully utilizes the heterogeneous computing power of the Qualcomm Snapdragon mobile platform. Typical smartphone uses the CPU to process the images, while we use the ISP, DSP, CPU, and GPU at the same time with optimal workload. The end result is 3 times faster noise reduction and 10 times lower power consumption. I would like to thank all of the engineers at Qualcomm, Light, in making this happen together with us. Let's take a look at the benefits. I will start with dynamic range. Given that the Nokia 9 PureView has the 5 cameras with different exposure values across the scene, the Nokia 9 PureView delivers stellar, unprecedented dynamic range. I'm talking about 12.4 stops. Now we can preserve detail and contrast in areas that are deep in the shadow or bright in the daylight. Next big benefit of the Nokia 9 PureView is the unparalleled full view depth map. I'm talking about a 12 megapixel depth map across the entire scene with 1200 layers. We then use machine learning to scale these layers to become effectively an infinite amount of layers of depth, ranging from 7 centimeters all the way to 40 meters. Moving on to what I would call the signature experience of the Nokia 9 PureView. Any expert will tell you that 50% of the art is in post-production. A JPEG that a normal smartphone captures is already processed, refined, and compressed. Its dynamic range and its potential has been already set for you. For those of you who want to be in creative control, The Nokia 9 PureView will create a raw image of unprecedented quality. Now you get in DNG format all of those 12.4 stops and all of the detail from the 5 cameras. We've partnered with Adobe on Lightroom. You might know Lightroom as the most intuitive means of editing a raw image right there on your Nokia 9 PureView. Now you can be the creative director. You can decide how the dynamic range is presented. In addition, we will develop together with Adobe and shortly release a custom lens profile, further enhancing the raw capture experience with your Nokia 9 PureView. We've also partnered with Google to ensure that the refocus experience is as pleasant as possible. You can now go to Google Photos and edit the refocus and decide what kind of a blur or bokeh effect you wanted for your picture. Another signature benefit is that the Nokia 9 PureView can deliver truly atmospheric black and white pictures. Since we have those 3 native monochrome cameras capturing that 2.9 times more light, we can perform image fusion with simply these cameras, delivering an extraordinary amount of detail. Now, many of you already know our signature camera UI, the Pro camera. Based on popular demand from our fans, we've expanded the range of settings. Now you're able to set the exposure time up to 10 seconds. And the value at every third of a step. Now, to talk more about imaging, it is my distinct pleasure to invite on the stage a fellow Finn and a renowned wildlife photographer, Konsta Punkka. Welcome.
Thanks, Juso.
Thank you. So Konsta, you've been playing with the Nokia 9 PureView for a few weeks. Could you share some of your experience with us?
Yeah, so I took the phone to the Scottish Highlands, and you can find sceneries like this one. So what I loved about new Nokia 9 PureView phone was that I was able to capture the very rich details in the dark shadows, and at the same time I could capture the details in the bright highlights. So it worked in both ways.
That looks absolutely stunning. And then you're of course known for wildlife photography. Could you show us some of that as well?
Yeah, so I basically followed a herd of deers for a few days to get up close and personal with them. And when it comes to wildlife, it can be tricky because they are fast moving and can do stuff. But with the new phone, I could capture the moment and then repurpose the focus afterwards. So it really helps on the photography. And this is really a game changer according to the smart phone photography, I would say.
Sounds like you have the best job ever. And then I also understand that you took a helicopter ride in Barcelona, right?
Yeah, we did a sunrise heli flight over the city and went around the Sagrada Familia. And what I really liked of the phone was that even though we went really fast with the helicopter, I could capture very stunning images with full detail and full textures. And it worked very well, no problem.
That looks amazing. How about then editing or post-processing overall?
So for me, I always shoot raw files. So with the new phone, we can get out very big raw files, and we can then switch them to the Lightroom mobile app and use them through the Nokia 9 PureView phone. So it works like a dream for me with that stuff, and I can use the shots everywhere.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate the insight.
Thanks.
Thank you for joining us today.
Yes, thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, Konsta Punkka. Okay, so every Nokia Android smartphone, of course, also has to be a design masterpiece. The Nokia 9 PureView is milled out of a single block of 6000 series aluminium, giving you excellent structural reliability. We then anodize and polish the frame for the beautiful midnight blue finish. The aluminium is made by vacuum molded 3D Gorilla Glass 5 on the back and sculpted Gorilla Glass 5 on the front. Where these two materials are perfectly fused together, we've added our signature diamond cuts. And what makes this design And the imaging innovation, even more impressive, is that all of it is housed in the 6mm thin body without a camera pump. I'll have to correct myself, 8mm thin body without a camera pump. Thank you, Florian. This premium design is IP67 rated. So if you end up going for a swim with your Nokia 9 PureView, you should be just fine. It features integrated wireless charging as well. Now